Sega.
Since before history, there has been a balance. We, the Umbral Witches, controlled the dark, while the Lumen Sages controlled the light. But 500 years ago, an untold event shattered that balance and led to a dark period of war. Our kind was extinguished by a fearful humanity, spellbound by the Lumens. All the Umbral Witches were slaughtered, except for one. The one they call Bayonetta. The concept behind Bayonetta was the creation of a witch. The story is set in modern times, so I reinvented the witch for today's audience. Come on. I made the enemies angels from heaven, who fight Bayonetta and her powers of darkness. So, in the game, good and evil and light and dark are reversed. Bayonetta loses her memory as the battle with the angels begins. As the game progresses, Bayonetta regains her memory. I've been there before. And the player uncovers the mysteries of the game. During discussions with the development team, we talked about the kind of enemies a witch would fight against. This enemy can't be the same kind of evil as Bayonetta. It would be more interesting to base it on the side of good. That's how the enemies became angels. We have seen enemies designed like the devil, but we have never seen angels as the enemy. I had unlimited freedom in designing. Regarding the weapons, I had the idea that Bayonetta would have guns attached to her feet as well as in her hands. It was obvious that this concept was new and attractive and would inspire the style of the gameplay. We also have special weapons invested with demonic power. In order for Bayonetta to get hold of such weapons, I introduced a male character known as Rodin.
I got a little present for you.
Rodin is a demon disguised as a human being. Bayonetta's weapons vary from short range to long range. Some weapons quickly hit the mark. Others are slow but extremely powerful. At the same time, their performance changes depending on what position they are in. In this sense, the possibility to customize Bayonetta is limitless. Since before history, there has been a balance. We, the Umbral Witches, controlled the dark, while the Lumen Sages controlled the light. But 500 years ago, an untold event shattered that balance and led to a dark period of war. Our kind was extinguished by a fearful humanity, spellbound by the Lumens. All the Umbral Witches were slaughtered, except for one. The one they call Bayonetta. In the games I create, the hero is extremely powerful and skillful. After that, I create the enemies. It's just my way of doing things. As a character, Bayonetta is an extremely formidable woman. I wanted to see the sadistic side of her as she eliminates her opponents. In her backstory, she survived a witch hunt that happened long ago. Now it's payback time. All the tortures she received as a witch, she unleashes against the angels. I thought this was an interesting concept.
But you're not nearly so ugly when you're screaming.
It's important players enjoy seeing enemies sadistically destroyed, so we were extremely particular about the animation for the torture moves. As she attacks the enemies, a gauge shows her level of magic power. The player can use this power to turn a situation around with one strike. Regarding the range of attack moves, well, I didn't think there could ever be too many. Bayonetta uses her hair to strike at her enemies by summoning a demon. In this attack, a huge hand or foot appears and crushes the enemy. It looks flashy, but its power is undeniable. The demons she summons symbolize her evil spirit in an extreme way. If Bayonetta's opponent was the devil, this demon would be his master. An ally she summons to totally consume her enemies. It is brutal, ferocious, and you'll be glad it's not your enemy. That's the idea of it. Since before history, there has been a balance. We, the Umbra Witches, controlled the dark, while the Lumen Sages controlled the light. But 500 years ago, an untold event shattered that balance and led to a dark period of war. Our kind was extinguished by a fearful humanity, spellbound by the Lumens. All the Umbra Witches were slaughtered, except for one. The one they call Bayonetta.
You've been cheating on me, haven't you?
I associate witches with Black Panthers. By fusing Bayonetta with this animal, I gave her the ability to transform herself into a panther, run fast, and leap great distances. The moment she takes down one opponent, she can attack another some distance away. This combination enables action that is beyond the limits of human beings. Bayonetta can transform herself into other animals too. This element creates a lot of cool gameplay. Players can enjoy battles in their own style. Boss fights create a constant sense of climax that intensifies throughout the game. To maintain intensity, the boss fights needed to be on a huge scale. To produce a battle with such huge enemies required a lot of ingenuity in designing the situations. Along with this, we thought about the kind of situation which would suit the boss, and the kind of battle that would be interesting. That's how we came up with the designs for the bosses. In order to create the world of Bayonetta, I did not want to simply create realistic images. I wanted to add a flavor of fantasy to depict a fantastic world. With Bayonetta, it is important to me that the enjoyment comes from experiencing exciting set pieces throughout the whole game. For example, fighting on a clock tower falling down in the midst of a gale with wreckage flying around. I wanted to design a stage overflowing with this kind of spectacle, but where you still enjoy fighting. The Witch Walk is Bayonetta's ability to attach to and walk up walls. I created the illusion that things turn upside down, and you don't know which way gravity is pulling you. This not only creates a visual impact, but by having her walk up walls, I could exploit the 3D environment to the maximum. With Bayonetta, I want people to see what the next generation of action games is all about.